Okay, we have a scene that looks a bit heavy, so I start optimizing it. So I press, how can I start optimizing it? I click here, it's a bit, okay. Instead, what I do, first step, I just select everything and make sure that history is deleted on everything. History deleted. History deleted. Okay. Then I go to the, let me just save as this because this is going to optimize. This is going to so I go here, file, optimize scene size, go here and I say delete anything that is, any nerve script that is not needed, any animation clip poses, cache data, expression unknown nodes, which is important, and duplicated shading networks. So if we do that, it's substantially, and if I save it, I think things start to become more control. Okay, so let's go back to our job, which was chair, and then that this chair has a material, and this material like sunkens when it gets rendered. So it usually comes as a displacement issue here. If I select the last node and I click on this, so you see that there's a displacement here, and then I click it, the scale of the displacement is 1, which is magnificent, it's huge. So I set it to like maybe 0.1% instead. So that's the first step. So now we want to render, but the issue was that rendering time was taking like enormous amount of time. So what we do is start to go to the render settings. Oh, there we are. And okay, as I was saying, we keep everything as default. I wish there was a default. So this scene, well, I start with a very low camera AA, 1. It's gonna definitely be noisy, but I'm not worried. So diffuse, so there's not much color, so I set the diffuse low, but there's a lot of specularity, which is reflection, so I put it high. Transmission, which is transparency low, human skin or any kind of skin low, and there's no volume dial, so I can set that low as well. Actually, I could even set them 0, but I keep it 1 for now. We have one single source of light in the scene, and that source of light, sampling on it starts from 1, but I set it to 8, right? So let's test render this and start. So we test render this, and possibly we have to boost this up and then the AA. Let's start. So it starts rendering. I usually only render what is that? I usually just render like one specific area instead. Crop region, and maybe that's the region I want. Let me run it. So you see that it runs just inside that region. So we don't spend too much of time. So see, the rendering is done. Okay. So what I do now is So sky 16. So we don't go beyond 16, but it's extremely noisy. So now I start to make it go up to. So you see that it's running forwards. So still is not what we want. Okay, so I keep it at. So do you see this like maximum like kind of. This is aggregation, like when they summed up. So total 88. So I try to keep everything as minimum as possible. So like here, I see that the reflections have issues. I boost reflection up a bit, maybe 5. And then maybe I boost up my light, because sampling on the light is cheap. It's not 32. In the like the power of 2's. I just go there. So light was heavy, so I dropped it down. So let's start boosting this up now. So make it 4 and enter. So this should be okay. So to make it working faster for us, we are, so you see that Arnold is using CPU for a lot of sampling. We just go to the system and say use my GPU, but this one only works if you press like you just search for device manager. So this only works when we have a proper GPU. So when I look at my GPU, it's an RTX 3090, and if you search for a like RTX 3090 VRAM, so it has about 24 gigabytes of VRAM, which is magnificent. So what we do is say that we have a good GPU and we have a lot of RAM, so I can clearly type, let's say I can multiply this to, let's say, 4,000 maybe, 4 gigabytes. It will start like affecting a lot of other applications that I have open, so I have to close. So 4096 might be a good amount of dedicated memory to this. So let's test. So I'm going to close this and open it again, so it runs on GPU this time. Okay, started rendering with 4 sampling. There is an issue, failed to create open subdiv topology refiner. I think some of your objects are made out of subdivision. Okay, we see that GPU is somehow faster. Not much, but faster. So for the GPU rendering, actually for the CPU you could do the same as well. You could use the denoiser. Denoiser works both on GPU and CPU, but let's let the GPU run its course, which is for AA. Okay, so this one's rendered and it takes a minute and a half. Let's apply a denoiser on it. And okay, so this is what you oh, it takes time to denoise it. Okay, this is the denoiser applied, but I don't like the results. So you can somehow blend between your original okay, original and then denoiser. Okay, so no, I think it needs. I'm gonna not blend it. So see that this is with denoiser. Okay. Oh, got it. So denoiser is one pass that is created. And it blends. Okay, so this is kind of a blend of the two works. We still see noise, but much sharper, much faster. Not much, but somehow faster. Okay. Let's look at the sky. So we definitely want to make sure that the sky is invisible. So when we render it, we don't see it. So let me just close all of, oh, not all of them. I should have kept this one up. So, and let's set up the 8. Let me just boost this up to like 8. And run it. So this time it runs with the denoiser. So when I turn off the camera of the sky, you see that if I click on here, you see that there's an alpha channel. So like that's where you can, you can put like the loop. Okay, that is not bad. A minute, almost there. A minute. We're halfway through, a minute 16, and it's sort of clean, finally. So now with a bit of massaging numbers and trying different techniques, we realize this 8 is doing the job for us. 4, I'm almost 2 minutes, I believe.